Hey guys, and welcome to part 4 of this month's episode of Gunpla News. In the first 3 parts, we covered the news and just Gundam related stuff. And the second part, we covered the new announcements, which there was quite a lot of. And the third part, we covered the kit updates, kit and figure updates, which there was quite a lot of those as well. And so now it's time to talk about some third-party and resin stuff. And this time, I think there's actually no resin stuff to talk about. It's just going to be all some third-party stuff. And mostly just some updates with only one new announcement, I believe, here. But let's go ahead and start talking about this. So the first thing is the 1/35 scale Unicorn Gundam bust by Seraph Hobby. Once again, Seraph Hobby, I believe it was early last year or middle of last year, they released their bust of the Banshee. But this one is now of the Unicorn Gundam, and it now also includes shoulders as well, where the Banshee did not include shoulders. I haven't seen a whole lot about this yet, other than just these kind of early just CG renders here. But so yeah, don't really know about that. The previous Banshee bust that they didn't really gather very high reviews. It wasn't really all the best quality, so hopefully they've kind of improved that on this one, but we'll just have to see. No price or release date available for that yet, so we're not sure. Then next, there's another 1/35 scale bust, and this time it's the Astray Red frame from Motor King. This one should be out at the end of June, or sorry, at the maybe beginning of July. We are seeing some new images of this. I don't really like the look of it that much. At first I did. I mean, I like the look of it mostly, except for the one piece, like the cockpit hatch piece, looks totally wrong and totally out of place. It doesn't look right at all for me, so I'm definitely going to pass on that. But if you pre-order before June 30th, the price is $50. If you buy it afterwards, the price is going to be $60. So if you want to pre-order that, I recommend going ahead and doing that. It's going to include some metal tubes for probably the pistons, I would imagine, and then some springs, probably also for the pistons, and then some decals and an LED system, which is kind of the norm for busts anyway. But that is going to be roughly around 9 inches tall, so my ruler's in the other room, but something like that, not super huge. But if you want to order that, you can order that through Samuel Decal and probably some other sources as well, but I would recommend going through Samuel Decal. Then there is the Master Grade 1/100 scale TR1 Hazel Custom that's being produced by Master Toys. Still no news about this other than just this first image that we had last time, but I'm definitely still very, very excited about that. The last thing that Magic Toys made was the new Gundam bust, which was actually pretty good from what I've heard. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do with this. It's going to be a 1/100 scale Hazel kit with an inner frame. I'm definitely looking forward to it, even if the quality is not going to be all that great. It's probably something that I'm still probably definitely going to have to try out, just because I really love the Hazel and everything from Advance to Zeta. So I'm definitely going to have to look forward to seeing more about that anyway, at least. So that's all about that. Next thing I want to talk about Mechanicore. Now, Mechanicore last year released their Kasi Gundam. Pretty soon they're going to be releasing their Penelope Gundam, and I've talked quite a bit about that. It's not out yet, but if you want to know more about their Penelope Gundam, here's just a picture of it here. You can go to previous episodes where I've talked more in depth about that. So that's that. But I want to talk a little bit about their next project after the Penelope, which is their version of a Deep Striker, which they're calling the Tiefstürmer. I could be pronouncing that wrong because I don't know how to pronounce that German correctly. But yeah, it's basically just a 1/100 scale version of the Deep Striker. Of course, the design is quite different from the official like Bandai design, but of course it still has all of the same kind of traits. But that definitely looks very, very cool. But if you know anything about the Deep Striker, it's not a very small kit. It's definitely like a mobile armor more than it is a mobile suit, so it's very, very large. So in 1/100 scale, of course, it's going to be quite large. Here in this picture, you can see it compared to the box of the XS Gundam, which, if you know, is a very, very large kit. It's definitely the large size Master Grade box, so it's going to be huge. The price for that is $350 total plus shipping, so it's definitely not going to be cheap either. If you want to pre-order that, you have to pay a deposit first of $180. Then once it's released, you have to pay the balance, which is $170, plus shipping, which depending on where you live, I mean, I can't imagine that's going to be anything smaller than at least a perfect grade box. It's going to be a big box for sure. So the shipping's probably going to cost you definitely a little bit on that. Like the other Mechanicore kits and even the Ellen Kshatriya before that, it's coming with a lot of the same kind of stuff that we've seen from Mechanicore. For the first batch, it's going to include camouflage custom decals, as you can see in the picture there. There's that. So that's cool that they're giving us those as decals rather than as pad printed parts. Number two, we're getting some two metal LED beam saber handles, which we can see here in one of their new images that they've released. So you are able to exchange the arm, which is the sensor arm. You are able to just replace that with just a normal arm if you wanted to have it holding a beam saber in that hand, because you are getting the two LED beam sabers, so that's pretty cool. You're also getting the metal cast extra V-fin, so you are getting a plastic V-fin and you are getting a metal V-fin as well. You can, I guess, choose which one you want to use. That, again, is something that they've just kind of, Mechanicore's done with the Cassis and the Penelope, and then they're carrying it over to this one as well. And then they're also giving a king-size, or this is their words here, a king-size original artwork poster. So I'm guessing, like with the Cassis, and probably like we're getting with the Penelope as well, a very large poster, and I guess king-size. I mean, the one that came with the Cassis was already pretty huge, so I imagine if this one's king-size, I mean, it's a pretty large poster, I guess we're talking here. So that's definitely going to be really cool. And then, of course, their first run is going to be 2,200 kits. So each one is going to be individually numbered. So you'll have like a serial number on there from 0001 to 2200, 2200. That's pretty cool. And then the first batch is also going to have different box art from the standard release to be released later, maybe, but I don't think they've done that with their other kits yet. So I don't know if that's actually even going to happen. So that is that. The estimated release date for that is October of this year. Now, that's probably not going to happen. We're probably going to be lucky to have this in December by Christmas time, but I would definitely assume it's going to be a little bit later than October, maybe November or December. So I just hope it's not too much longer after that. Not like the Ex Machina debacle that's going on still. But anyway, there's a couple other things that are included with this kit. Of course, there's over 1,400 plastic parts, a huge amount of parts. It's including 38 LEDs, and that's for the thrusters, the head, the I-field generators, the disc ray dome, the main cannon, and other things. It's going to have loads of LEDs. That's more than the Perfect Grade Unicorn, by the way. And then they haven't officially said this yet, but it's pretty safe to assume that's going to include some metal parts as well, probably at least for some of the thrusters, and then maybe some other metal detail parts for something else as well. I would assume we're probably going to be getting some of that as well for that. So that's that. I'm really looking forward to that. It's definitely expensive. It's definitely huge. The other thing that I'm worried about, it does come with its own dedicated base that they designed this base just for this kit. Although it doesn't really look all that big or strong, and that's going to be a big, heavy kit. So I just hope that that base is going to be able to hold it very well, because it's just one piece going up, like one, what would you call that? I don't know, the arm of the base going up, and that, especially the large boosters that kit has for legs, are going to be very, very heavy. So without dedicated bases for those as well, I hope they've got a really good system designed to keep those up, because that's definitely not going to be a light kit. So hopefully they've got that sorted out. We'll just have to see. And the last one, this is the only new thing that we've got, at least that I saw and that I wanted to mention to you guys at this time, and that is the RG Barzam by Cute Cube Workshop. Now, basically what this is, it is a plastic conversion kit to convert the RG Gundam Mark II to the RG Barzam. So it definitely looks really cool. And it's cool that it's a plastic conversion kit rather than a resin conversion kit, so it makes it a little bit more widely accessible to other people, maybe who aren't comfortable in working with resin. So it's going to include 7 runners, so quite a bit of parts there, and then it also includes some waterslide decals, which is pretty cool. So that is actually that was announced, and then very shortly after that, already released. So that is actually already released. I believe I just got an email from Samuel Decal this morning that has shipped. So mine is in the mail currently. That costs $22 plus shipping. So $22 for that, and then of course you do have to buy a RG Gundam Mark II, which is something like $20 to $25 for that as well. So total you're going to be maybe like almost $50 if you want to really have an RG Barzam, but it's definitely very unique and it looks really nice from the pictures that we've seen of it so far. It definitely looks like it's going to be a pretty nice build. So looking forward to that, looking forward to sharing it with you guys. That's in the mail, but I don't have a RG Gundam Mark II, so I need to get one so I can actually use that to build it up and show it to you guys. So definitely have to do that, and that is going to do it for all the third-party and resin stuff. There was no resin this time. Sorry, guys. Anyone who's a fan of resin stuff, I'm sure there was probably some new resin stuff announced that I may have missed. If there is, let me know in the comments below. So that is it. Thanks, guys, for watching this. There's only one part left in this month's episode of Gunpla News, and that is the featured section, which is pretty cool. So definitely make sure you stick around to watch that. Again, you can watch all of this month's videos of Gunpla News, all 5 parts, all in a playlist if you want. So if you didn't watch some previous parts, make sure you can go back and check those out, and you can just watch them all as a playlist. I recommend just putting it on maybe while you're working on building something, because it's probably not all that interesting to just look at my face for over an hour, but you can just maybe listen to it while you're building something or whatever. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in part 5.